up and welcome. I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome to something I've never really done, and that is just sit down and talk to you about a topic. And the topic I have on my mind today is the international career mode in FIFA. And I'm about to ready to sit down and record another episode of the U.S. national team career, which if you're new around here, that is a series I do on this channel with the U.S. national team, obviously, where I take over as manager and I try to lead them to glory in international play. And every time I sit down and record a new episode of this, I just can't help but think that there could be so much more to do with the international career. I just don't understand how a game that's based around the world sport, a sport that more people play than any other sport in the world, and its greatest stage is the international team competition, the World Cup, yet in this game, based around this sport, the international side of things is almost completely neglected. It's mind-boggling to me that that's been allowed to happen. And I do have some ideas that could make this better and make it a viable career mode option in FIFA with a few minor tweaks. It's not even a big change to the game. The things I want are already in the game. They just need to be tweaked a little bit to fit the international management side of things. So I'm going to let you know what my ideas are on that. And then obviously in the comments below, I want to know what your thoughts are. First of all, on my ideas, if you think they're good or not. And also, if you have any other ideas, any other implementations that could be made into this game, let me know what they are. I mean, obviously, I want to know as many ideas as possible because the way it is now is so ridiculous. It's sad almost the way that it's played right now. So let's get into this thing. So the way international management works right now is that you start off your manager career managing a club team, and then you get offers in from international teams to coach those teams alongside your club team. So you have to do both at the same time. Obviously, that is unfathomable in today's game. There is far too much to do. Coaches have a hard enough time keeping their job at their club, much less run their club and an international team at the same time. The reason it's feasible in FIFA is because there's literally nothing to do in the international career job. I mean, all you do is you pick a team, you play games. That's literally all there is to do. So obviously adding in some things into the international career to make it its standalone career or even a part of your manager career is the first thing that needs to happen. So you could actually start off with a club career if you wanted to, and if you get an international job offer in that you think is interesting, you could leave your club career, go coach that international team for a while, and then maybe leave that team and go back to a club, something like that, but not two at the same time. That just does not make sense. But for that to happen, there needs to be more to do, obviously, in the international management scene. And my first idea would be training camps. Not that hard to implement. Maybe 2 or 3 training camps per season with the international team. Say you get 7 days for a training camp. Each of those 7 days, you get 5 training slots like you would normally get each week in a club team. You get each 5 training slots per day for 7 days. So that's 35 training slots over the course of the week to train players in the international team. So you call in players to the international team, you bring them into the training camp, you can train them up a little bit, and obviously there'd have to be a system in place so that you can't use 35 training slots over the course of the week on one player and boost them up +6 overall. That would be ridiculous. My idea for that would be have them have a stamina bar for that training camp. Training them brings down the stamina, resting them for a day refills the stamina a little bit so you can use other training slots on them later in the week. Simple idea. It would be a huge boost, not only to the international career mode side of things, but also to your club career side of things. Even if you don't coach a national team, having players on your team that are part of a national team is now beneficial to you because they can go away, get trained up a little bit in the international team, and maybe come back a better player than they were before. Like in real life, that could possibly happen, right? That makes a lot of sense. And also in your player career, that would make a lot of sense because you could get called up to your national team, go in, hit a couple of training sessions, come back to your club team a better player. Suddenly international duty is not a hindrance, it's an asset to every aspect of career mode. So my second idea, and this is really the more important one, and to be honest, it's scary that it's not already implemented into this, but currently the way you pick your players is you have a pool full of every player from the nationality that you're coaching. So I use the United States. I have an entire player pool of every single player from the United States, and I know everything about them, from their height, their weight, to their weak foot, sprint speed, every rating, every single thing, right down to their eye color almost, of everything that there is to know about this player. What if you didn't know every single thing there is to know about every single player from the United States? What if you had to actually have a scouting team go out and take a look at these players and then bring back a scouting report similar to what you would get from a youth squad report in the club career mode. Just an idea of how good they possibly are. And then you have to actually bring them into a training camp or to an international friendly to see how good they really truly are and get actual ratings for them. Wouldn't that make sense? Suddenly international friendlies are important. You actually have to use them to get to know your team rather than them being a complete waste of time the way they are now. Doesn't that make a little bit of sense? Now in this scenario, I'm obviously not saying you need to scout every player to know how good they are. For instance, I would already know how good Clint Dempsey is if I'm managing the US. Clint Dempsey is Clint Dempsey. Probably not going to be changing all that much the way he is now. Same with if you took over the England job, you're going to know how good Wayne Rooney is. However, at the start of this year, you might not have known how good Dele Alli is. Turns out he's a pretty decent player, but you wouldn't have known that unless you scouted him and then brought him into a training camp or an international friendly and get to really know how good that player is. The scouting system is already in the game. You just have to tweak it a little bit and implement it into the national team career side of things. So those are just a couple of ideas, and all of the ideas I mentioned are already in the game in some capacity. They would just take a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of fine tuning to fit the international side of things. And if they are implemented, that has the potential to not only impact the international career mode and make it a standalone career mode, but also has the potential to impact all of career mode and make FIFA a more complete game and a better game overall, in my opinion. So definitely let me know what you thought of my ideas, and if you have any ideas of your own, make sure you put them in the comments below. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this. Like I said, it's a topic I feel pretty passionately about, being that I do a career series based around the international career mode, and it just could be so much better. There's just so much more that could be involved in it that it's really frustrating to not be able to do those things that I was just talking about. I just wish so badly that those were in the game. So that's gonna do it for this one. If you had as much fun as I did and you liked anything I had to say, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. If you like this format of video, I would definitely be interested in doing some more in the future. So let me know if you did enjoy it. But that's gonna do it for this one. I will catch you later. See ya.